Welcome back to our read aloud of Edward Tulane. This is chapter 10. The picture at the beginning of the book, or at the beginning of the chapter, is what looks like Edward's high chair that he enjoys sitting in spite of himself. Chapter 10. Lolly was a lumpy woman who spoke too loudly and wore too much lipstick. Now we have a new character here. I don't recognize her name. Let me look back in the previous chapter. It says, at the very last sentence, and then Lawrence and Nellie's daughter came for a visit. Okay, I think Lolly might be her daughter. Yes, it says on page 68, she told Edward about her children, her daughter Lolly, who was his secretary. Okay, Lolly. Let's read about her. Lolly was a lumpy woman who spoke too loudly and wore too much lipstick. She doesn't sound very pleasant. She entered the house and immediately spotted Edward sitting on the living room couch. "What's this?" she said. She put down her suitcase and picked Edward up by one foot. Then she held him upside down. "That's Susanna," said Nellie. "Susanna!" shouted Lolly. She gave Edward a shake. His dress was up over his head and he could see nothing. Already he had formed a deep and abiding hatred for Lolly. "Your father found her," said Nellie. "She came up in the net, and she didn't have no clothes on her, so I made her some dresses." "Have you gone skivvy?" shouted Lolly. "Rabbits don't need clothes." "Well," said Nellie. Her voice shook. "This one seemed to." Lolly tossed Edward back on the couch. He landed face down with his arms over his head and his dress still over his face, and he stayed that way through dinner. "Why have you got out that old high chair?" shouted Lolly. "Oh, don't pay it no mind," said Nellie. "Your father is just gluing on a missing piece, wasn't you, Lawrence?" "That's right," said Lawrence without looking up from his plate. Of course, after dinner, Edward did not go outside and stand beneath the stars to have a smoke with Lawrence. And Nellie, for the first time since Edward had been with her, did not sing him a lullaby. In fact, Edward was ignored and forgotten about until the next morning, when Lolly picked him up again and pulled his dress down away from his face and stared him in the eye. "Got the old folks bewitched, don't you?" said Lolly. "I heard the talk in town. They've been treating you like a rabid child." Edward stared back at Lolly. Her lipstick was a bright and bloody red. He felt a cold breeze blow through the room. Was the door open somewhere? "Well, you don't fool me," she said. She gave him a shake. "We'll be taking a trip together, you and me." Holding Edward by the ears, Lolly marched through the kitchen and shoved him face down in the garbage can. "Ma," Lolly shouted, "I'm taking the truck. I'm going to head on out and do some errands." "Oh," came Nellie's tremulous voice. That's wonderful, dear. Goodbye, then." "Goodbye," thought Edward as Lolly hauled the garbage can out to the truck. "Goodbye," Nellie called again, louder this time. Edward felt sharp pain somewhere deep inside his china chest. For the first time, his heart called out to him. It said 2 words. Nellie. Lawrence. Think like the Grinch who saved Christmas. It's like Edward's heart is finally turning on for the first time. Like it's growing because of the love that he's receiving and the love that he's starting to give back, right? I feel like this experience of being alone at the bottom of the ocean for almost a year has changed him in a certain way. I wonder how that change will continue as we continue the story. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.